kind-hearted couple giving Christmas hope to the homeless. Village in Milne Bay surviving on breadfruit while waiting for disaster relief. And the RPNGC launches a book on its colourful history.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for Friday's news. The Hope and Restoration Ministry's Home Centre feeds, shelters and clothes as many as 108 widows and orphans under the care of Pastor Stephen Babaisi and his wife Anna. Mr. Babaisi said many of the people living there are unemployed and periods like the festive season are hard. Goodman Fielder's representatives brought the spirit of Christmas to their home with their monthly quota of donated food supplies and a little extra.
Stephen and Anna show selfless devotion to helping the disadvantaged in that they themselves have no proper housing. According to Anna, they live with them in a makeshift canvas tent. Recently, they've taken in women and children living with HIV as well.
We believe that whatever areas the government cannot be able to reach out to our people, I personally believe in my heart that the church needs to do a lot in terms of getting involved in humanitarian services like clothing, hospitality, feeding, counseling. So this is the areas that we've been actually covering for the last 4 years.
The couple is thankful to Goodman Fielders for their monthly donations as it comes when they most need it. The children were especially excited to receive flame rugby balls as Christmas gifts.
On behalf of the ministry, I'd like to thank the Goodman Fielders and the management, of course Marcus and Jeremy, who's not here, for their heartfelt appreciation for what we are doing.
Mr. Bibayesi and his wife are appealing for help from the government and other business houses to help them in their efforts to give the disadvantaged a place to call home.
My awareness and my appeal to the business houses out there is that inject money or fund projects where it is more worthwhile, where it is more human being integral development orientation programs.
Melissa Goviro, National EMTV News.
The 2015 NCD Governor Christmas celebration in Port Moresby will draw to a close this Sunday. Events lined up for the closing ceremony will include fireworks displays, carols by candlelight and live band performances. The three venues include Jack Piddick Park at 5 Mile, Ella Beach and Vision City. City residents who attended and watched the activities at various locations have heaped praise on the organizers of the event. The 20-night major program has seen no incidents as security was guaranteed at all venues. Event manager Numa Alu has commended the Governor, Poes Pakop, for his vision to transform the city. The 2015 legal year officially closed today. Chief Justice Salamo Injia and members of the bench, lawyers, office bearers, as well as relatives of residential judges from around the country gathered today in Port Moresby to witness this occasion. Eric Harupma with this report.
It was a moment for the country's judiciary at the Waigani Supreme Court House today. Lawyers and members of the law fraternity turned up to witness the official closure of what can be described as an eventful legal year. Courtroom 1 was packed to full capacity, forcing some participants to watch proceedings from the screens mounted from outside in the hallway. These participants poised for silence with full respect to judges as they gave their experiences in this legal profession. The order of speech followed with senior judges, including the 4 judges being recently commissioned. Chief Justice Salamo Injia, during the official closing ceremony of the 2015 legal year, officially adjourned all the cases to January 4, 2016.
To morning tea in the cold fire this morning. Thank you, and the associated can now adjourn the court.
Meanwhile, hearings will continue for these pending cases until Thursday, 24th of December 2015. Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
Small hamlets in Biman village in the Alatau district of Milne Bay province are surviving on breadfruit while awaiting disaster relief rations. Villagers say little rainfall has made no difference to their lives as food crops struggle to produce. Meanwhile, Alatau MP Charles Abel is disappointed with the slow response by the Provincial Disaster Office in allocating disaster relief supplies.
Like parts of the country, Alatau district is also feeling the pinch of the dry weather conditions. Water levels have been decreasing, food crops showing no sign of producing normally, while people struggle to survive. For the B1 people, the breadfruit tree is now the staple food and is eaten in all meals or at odd times. This villager says the breadfruit may keep them going until food rations are delivered or when the weather pattern changes.
At the moment, B1 ones, we are living with breadfruit. And all our garden kaikai, they are all finished because of the drought.
Meanwhile, the slow response by the Provincial Disaster Office in compiling reports and supply rations has disappointed local MP Charles Abel.
Disaster report, I've been taking no time to mass, come back, a lot. And me no one bell to mass. One time all provincial disaster officers, not two, all get the area managers for you.
However, yesterday, first shipment of relief rations organized by the district arrived on the shores of Wedau village for distribution. First forward councils in the Werraro LLG started the relief exercise.
First 4 wards on the beach first, huh? Otherwise, Pabunaki, that's your iron and small rations there. Thank you. Jivari.
District boats Alatau 2 and 3 will be transporting food supply over the next 3 weeks for distribution in the district. Also included in the rations are water containers apart from main food items. Jack Lepave Jr. National EMTV News.
Early this year, Philippine Airlines announced that it would be having direct flights to Papua New Guinea to facilitate increase in passenger numbers between Port Moresby and Manila. With many Filipinos working in the country and PNG students studying in the Philippines, the service is anticipated to be a more convenient option for Manila-bound passengers. This morning, Philippine Airlines landed its inaugural flight at Port Moresby's Jackson's International Airport. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was led by Philippine Airline President and Chief of Operations Jamie Bautista and PNG Ambassador to the Philippines Christian Viruri. The 5-hour flight arrived at Jackson's International Airport at 9:20 this morning and later departed for Manila at 10:10. The opening of the water project at Dogura Station in Alatau, Milne Bay Province, comes as a relief for locals during this El Nino period. Yesterday, the Alatau MP Charles Abel visited the church-run station and officially launched the project. It is predicted to benefit thousands of villagers during this dry spell. Jack Lepave Jr. reports from Alatau.
Situated on the plateau, the Anglican-run station is an old, iconic and historical place. It serves a population of over 2,000 people with services like education and health. The opening of the water supply system comes amidst the harsh, dry conditions faced by the people.
To cut this ribbon and launch our water supply project, which is so important to us, especially in this very dry condition.
With a capacity of 130,000 litres each, Driller Pipi Boni says the huge population will directly benefit.
We also have 2 separate lines leading out from each tank, so that if they blow a tap up on the plateau, the village water supply will not be disrupted.
107 taps have been installed for the people of Wedau village as the main benefactors. Meanwhile, under the education sector, St. Paul High School received 50,000 kina, Wamira Primary School 100,000 and the local elementary school 20,000 kina.
For sure, it will go a long way in educating the young people of Wamira, 1 and 2, Pabunaki and Jivari villages.
Jack Lepave Jr. National EMTV News, Alatau.
You're watching National EMTV News. The RPNGC launches a book on the force's history in PNG and more local stories after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. A 95-page book on the establishment and history of the Royal PNG Constabulary was launched in Port Moresby this morning. The book captures over 100 years of police history, dating back to the constabulary's pre-colonial beginnings in the 19th century. Members of the constabulary plan to use the book to appreciate their past police work and strive to maintain the image of the force.
The book, titled Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, A Brief History, is the first publication which features the establishment, transition and current changes in the force. Over 12 months was spent in compiling the book, and its publication marks a breakthrough for the police department. The book itself is divided into 13 parts. It contains records of national important dates like the Independence Day in 1975 and the visit of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in 1977.
Many would find it resourceful. Knowing one's history is very important, and the book allows us to gain access to a pool of human experience. It can broaden our understanding and our profession. It enables us to appreciate the reasons why we exist, and it can motivate us to strive for excellence.
The successful publication of the book marks another joint achievement for the RPNGC and the Australian Federal Police. Through the PNG Australia Policing Partnership Program, the book was produced to commemorate 127 years of the constabulary's existence.
So, we got big plahamamas along this project. We got big plahamamas along Australian Federal Police involvement along this project, and nami hamamas through stop here to long witness this passing. This passing is important through long history.
A special part of the book contains the honors list, where names of all police officers and civil staff who have served or are still serving the force. This list dates back to 1978. Copies of the book will be distributed to the National Library, universities, and will also be published online. Takla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Inspector Tony Kavan is the new Badili Police Station Commander. Badili Police held a parade today to officially farewell the outgoing station commander, Bill Wareka. The change comes after a nationwide restructure within the constabulary.
Badili Police braved the scorching sun to farewell their outgoing station commander, Billy Wareka. They held the first parade at the new recreational area, which was opened last week. It was an emotional yet happy moment for them. The outgoing PSC urged officers to maintain discipline, a standard that he will leave behind, and respect the law and the rights of citizens.
Maintain your discipline, maintain your public relationship with the public. Okay, unnecessary abusing your powers, right? We need them as much as they need us.
Wareka said that in the past, Badili, Koki and Sabama were flagged as red zones in the city. However, in his 6 years of commanding Badili, he said crime rates have been reduced by 45%. Some of the project initiatives he started are Community Development Committee, Food Beat Patrols, and the Community Policing Volunteers Program.
Now, young policeman, you can look at when you walk about the street, when you walk about the settlement. Food beat. Everyone play key area when play introducing so that police presence is felt in the community.
The outgoing PSC will still be stationed at Badili. The new PSC, Kavan, did not want to make empty promises, but he pledged to continue the good work left behind by his colleague. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
45 officers within the Papua New Guinea Defence Force Engineering Battalion have been promoted to higher ranks at various levels within the force. The promotion has made history with the largest number of officers promoted in 2015. Commanding officer at EGAM's Engineering Battalion says the achievements have indicated the Engineering Battalion's commitment to the PNG Defence Force.
These are the 45 officers at the GAM's PNG Defence Force Engineering Battalion. Yesterday marked a special day for them as they have been recognized by the Defence Force for their efforts. Not only that, what's also remarkable about this date is they are part of a group that has made history in a mass promotion of officers within the force.
It's been a great year for Engineering Battalion this year. There has been a lot of achievement, milestones achieved. Not only this year, but over the last 4 years.
The officers were officially presented their new badges for warrant officers, sergeants, corporals and lance corporals. These officers are mostly professional engineers whom the state continues to engage in various infrastructure projects around the country. Some have left their project assignments in other provinces to attend these significant events.
We're also working on Menikandep, 42-kilometer Menikandep Road and Laigam Pogora Road with the contractors, Kovec. We are subcontracted to Kovec to deliver the road infrastructure to the people of Papua New Guinea.
This year marks a significant era in the PNG Defence Force Engineering Battalion's calendar. Now, the mass promotion of the 45 officers has made history compared to previous years where less numbers get promoted per year. Now, the Defence Force holds a large portion of the government's yearly budget, and under its project's budget, funds are still inadequate for most of its infrastructure projects. Colin Barilai, National EMTV News, Lae.
General Secretary for the Papua New Guinea Communication Workers Union, Jeffrey Borari, says Public Enterprise and State Investment Minister Ben Micah is yet to meet with union members. The General Secretary made these comments after Minister Micah said he had already met with union members in an interview on MTV this week. Borari said in June, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill wrote a letter directing Minister Micah to meet with union members. However, he says this has not happened.
I want to make this point clear to the minister. Minister will have to be very, very careful in his statement, right? And we will demand from the Prime Minister, we will demand that he will be sacked immediately for telling lies.
A new board will be established for the Small Coffee Growers Association in PNG following a court decision this week. The Waigani National Court has recognized PNG Small Grower Coffee Holder Chairman Peter Kewa's judicial review application for the establishment of a board. Eric Haurupma with this report.
The court battle between Peter Kewa, the current chairman of the smallholder coffee growers in Papua New Guinea and the state, has finally reached its verdict. Justice Colin Mackay ruled in favor of Mr. Kewa after considering the facts of the case inconsistent to Section 10 of the Regulatory Statutory Authority Act 2004. Mr. Kewa acknowledged the court for its decision on behalf of the Small Coffee Growers Association and for their support during this court battle.
With 5 to 6 million people involved in that coffee.
The Smallholder Coffee Growers Association comprises 7 cooperative members representing smallholder coffee growers from different parts of the country. It was established to carry out the operations of small coffee growers holders in its entirety.
Rules of law that provide for appointment of coffee industry board members.
The establishment of the board will now have members from the islands, Momase Islands and Southern Region.
Papua New Guinea, bring Mr. Casey, take Mr. Casey on the court. Win him. It's a Christmas present for us.
The court has ordered that 60 days ultimatum is given for the appointment of the board and 30 days for the election of the board executives. Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
2015 has been a successful year for the PNG LNG project, with lead operator ExxonMobil PNG continuously improving the way it does business. One of the biggest successes has been the amount of no lost time, something that the company is proud of. Reflecting on the achievements of 2015, ExxonMobil PNG Managing Director Andrew Barry was impressed with the results, particularly in regards to safety. The project had achieved 56 million hours of no lost time injury in 2015.
And if you put that into perspective, what that is, it's like one person, like one of us in here, working 28,000 years without taking a single day off work because of an injury.
According to Barry, this is an indication of the level of commitment to safety that the company continues to have, which in turn has also impacted the overall level of safety within the oil and gas sector in PNG.
We're having an impact on the way other businesses are doing work and lifting the safety standards. Because at the end of the day, what is so important to us is that anyone who is on our site, anyone who's there, goes home in the exact same condition that they came to work in.
The success of the PNG LNG project in 2015 was a team effort, with many stakeholders playing their parts in ensuring that the project continued successfully.
It has been the close cooperation with the government, with the community, with landowners. It is truly a team effort that has made us successful.
Here with Friday's news, special care services donation for a special group of people. That story and more when we come back. Welcome back to the news. The special care nursery at the Port Moresby General Hospital today received advanced infant care equipment to improve maternal and infant mortality in the country. Today saw the donation of an infant warmer and phototherapy unit from PNG Tribal Foundation and General Electric PNG. Willie Lovai with this report.
General Electric PNG, in partnership with PNG Tribal Foundation, is donating 3 infant warmers and phototherapy units to hospitals around Papua New Guinea. Today saw the first donation of an advanced infant warmer and phototherapy unit at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Each unit is valued at 33,000 kina, and the whole initiative amounts to more than 100,000 kina for advanced infant care equipment.
This is an example of how NGOs can partner with the private sector to bring service delivery to our people. In this case, we're able to support government programs by partnering also with Port Moresby General Hospital.
She said that the next unit will be installed at the Wabeg Hospital in the Enga province, with the placement of the third to be finalized shortly. The initiative looks towards the continued efforts to reduce maternal and infant mortality rates in the country. Director of Nursing Services, Carol Hosea, was grateful for the new equipment and told EMTV that the new equipment is much smaller and portable compared to the bigger versions already in the country.
This will actually give more support to our midwifery to give better health to all our babies.
She said that each day, 45 to 50 babies are born and that 1 or 2 babies will need phototherapy and may require the infant warmer. Willie Lovai, National EMTV News.
Employees will be the primary focus of national flag carrier Air Niugini. Chief Executive Officer Simon Fu says Air Niugini will invest more in its human resources due to their commitment and loyalty in moving the airline company forward.
A members' consolidated agreement was signed today by the National Airlines Employees Association, Air Niugini Management and Labour and Industrial Relations Department. The 4-year agreement seals what the national airline aims to focus and invest on, and is its employees' salary and housing among the priorities.
We've taken care of the members who are now members moving forward. New ones coming in will be like on a contract B conditions where there will be different allowances made for those, respecting the membership that are here that want to be with Air Niugini. Air Niugini is a good employer, and we'll make sure that we have the understanding with the group that we take care of the existing membership going forward under agreed conditions and moving forward on a different set of conditions.
National Airlines Employees Association President Theodora Sapuri thanked the management for listening to the concerns. Some of the new clauses include the whistleblower that allows employees to report any weakness or unlawful acts, and the period of grievances reduced to 7 days that will charter the way forward.
So is the human resource, because it's a central location, place department and it must be neutral all the time. So that's where I advise most of the employees to go to report the issues. Within the HR department, we have an industrial relations section, which are neutral, and they are there to assist both parties, the employee, employer, and the union as well.
The Labour and Industrial Relations Department was impressed with Air Niugini's focus, driven by the 4-year agreement.
What you have done is for the good of both the employer and the employee. So, as you have mentioned, it will take 4 years. So after 4 years, you can go through the same process to review your order again.
Mr. Fu said Air Niugini will continue to build its strength from its weaknesses to ensure it fully achieves its focus. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
The Milne Bay Provincial Election Steering Committee today signed a memorandum of agreement with the Papua New Guinea Electoral Commission. The agreement is an understanding between the two parties to support the work of elections within Milne Bay Province.
The signing seeks cooperation from the provincial administration to allow their staff to support Electoral Commission in carrying elections in Milne Bay Province. Chief Electoral Commissioner Patelias Gamato says the MOA signing now concludes the work in the Momase region. But some provinces have yet to sign the agreement with the Electoral Commission. He says there have been similar agreements signed in 2007 and in 2012.
Seeking support and cooperation from the provincial governments, because we will mostly use the staff for the public service within the administration.
In Milne Bay province, the provincial government has allocated 1.5 million kina in its provincial budget to support the work of the elections. In 2016, the PNG Electoral Commission will focus on preparing for the 2017 elections. However, the 10 million kina appropriated in the 2016 budget is not sufficient. Gamato has written a letter to the Prime Minister for additional funding.
A submission to government asking for additional funding to do that.
The Chief Electoral Commissioner Pateleas Gamato this year has made a decision to do enrollments in the provinces. This is to make it easier for everyone. In the past, the enrollment forms are completed and are then sent to the headquarters to enter into the data system. Mata Lewis, National EMTV News, Ley.
You're watching National EMTV News. The legacy of our world-class sporting facilities, 2016 and beyond. We hear from Sports Minister Justin Tichenko in Trukai Sports up next. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The upgrading of sporting infrastructure in Papua New Guinea will, in turn, generate revenue for the sports industry in years to come, according to Sports Minister Justin Tichenko. This year, the country has seen many of PNG's iconic landmarks being transformed into world-class facilities. While it was a timely boost for the 2015 Pacific Games, this is something that will go a long way for sport in the country. Lorraine Guinea reports.
For the year 2015, over 300 million kina was spent on the upgrading of sporting infrastructures. The Sir John Guy Stadium, Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, Tarma Aquatic Centre, Rita Flynn Courts and the Bissini Parade. While the construction phase was scheduled for completion prior to the 2015 Pacific Games, Minister for Sports Justin Tichenko said earlier this week the upgrading of facilities would benefit Papua New Guinea beyond 2015.
At the end of the day, it's like all our infrastructure for the Pacific Games that we built, as well as this one, is that we would like to see it self-sufficient in the long term, so that it can look after itself and pay back itself for the benefit of the sport. And
Tichenko says while the country has one of the best sporting facilities in the region, it is now a liability to all stakeholders to maintain the facilities in the coming years.
The biggest thing with the government is we want to make sure that these facilities are maintained. They're looked after, not for the short term, but for the long term. That's a must. We mustn't repeat the mistakes of the past, like 1991 with the South Pacific Games, where all that infrastructure, when to date, was run down and had to be totally rebuilt. We don't want to do that ever again.
Currently, the government is assisting in the rebuilding of what was formerly known as the PRL Stadium in Port Moresby. As of February 2016, the National Football Stadium will be home to the #1 sport in the country and will host the 2017 Rugby League World Cup pool matches.
We've got the FIFA World Cup under 20 women's starting November next year, and I'm sure Lloyd Robson Oval, the National Football Stadium, will be definitely a part of that. And then in 2017 we have the Rugby League World Cup, where we see 3 international games played right here in Port Moresby.
Lorraine Guinea, National EMTV Sports.
To the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, and Bougainville Football Association President Justin Helele has praised North Bougainville MP Lauta Atoy for committing 50,000 kina towards the sports tournament. Helele said the local MP's commitment contributes to developing sportsmanship in the Autonomous Region and continues the awareness on peace and reconciliation on the island. The 4-day tournament kicked off this week in Buka. Moving on, and a lot more work needs to be done to bring the under-20 squad up to scratch 12 months out from the World Cup. PNG women's national coach Lisa Cole believes there is talent, while the squad has yet to be finalized, with a lot more chopping and changing of players to be done before a quality side can represent the country.
Combining both the senior and 20 squads during their training camp, Cole is hoping that the younger group could learn off of that experience. And while she's comfortable with half of the team, with a core already selected, a lot more work needs to be done to improve them and raise them to a standard required for the world stage.
I think I probably have about half the group. I think we're somewhere between 14, 15 players that I feel really good about. There's maybe another 3 or 4 that I think can make it. And then I think, again, there's players out there that we need to go look at that I either saw before or been told about that we need to go take a look at before we make the final picks.
Defensively, Papua New Guinea has struggled at international level, and this is also an area that is being worked on.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff we've been doing has been talking about good habits, getting the ball, facing forward, playing the way you're facing, and then being in good supporting angles for each other, and then also looking at our defensive shape. I've talked to them a lot about how to trap, and I've talked about pressing. When do we press and when do we hold, and the kind of the shape of the back line. So
the task has been difficult. Not all players have been available, and Cole has had to work without a full group of players. The focus now has been on support and forward play, pressing high, instead of PNG's traditional laid-back approach.
I want the team to really be organized and then see if we can steal, a tie or, again, it's all going to depend on what draw we get, what our potential is. But I think being the host nation, we need to make sure that we give out a good performance. That doesn't mean win or losses, but do we give out a good performance and the players give their all?
The World Cup will not be an easy prospect for Papua New Guinea. Only recently, Venezuela and Brazil joined the United States in qualifying for the tournament. And playing at home, there will be high expectation placed on a team that currently lacks valuable international experience. Jeremy Mogi, National, EMTV Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. A word from our women's football team about their chances in next year's World Cup event. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Still on football, the senior national women's team head into next month's Rio Olympic qualifiers against New Zealand. With time running out, head coach Lisa Cole is under pressure to deliver a winning performance. She has stepped into the role after the sudden departure of previous coach Gary Phillips.
I think we could have done a better job with their preparation. I think with not having had a coach, I'm obviously willing to help out and assist their preparations, but without having a full-time coach in place, they haven't had any games leading into the games that are very important games qualifying for the Olympics. So for me, I think we needed to do more to get them ready for this, but we're doing the best we can with what time we have left.
To football abroad now, and suspended FIFA President Sepp Blatter appeared before the Ethics Committee of World Soccer's governing body in a case that could see him banned from the sport forever. FIFA, reeling from the worst corruption scandal in its more than 100-year history, with 41 people, including national soccer bosses and bodies, already charged by US prosecutors.
Blatter was suspended on October the 8th from all football-related activity for 90 days, alongside UEFA chief Michel Platini. The FIFA ethics inquiry began in the wake of Swiss Attorney General Office's decision to open criminal proceedings against Blatter over a $2 million payment to Platini in 2011. Both men have denied wrongdoing. He reiterated the payment made when Blatter was running for re-election of UEFA was legitimate and resulted from a verbal contract for work Platini had done for FIFA years before. Separately, a spokesman for the Swiss Justice Ministry says on Thursday it had frozen millions of Swiss francs related to FIFA in response to a request from US investigators. Shane Saroya, National, EMTV Sports.
Back home and to the NSL, this weekend we'll see the final round of the Telecom National Soccer League before the festive period. To open proceedings, PKA Rapatona meet third-placed Gigera Laitepo. Southern Conference League leaders Hekari meet PS Huawei and Irma Gulf face FC Port Moresby. In the Northern Conference, Admiralty go head-to-head with Besta at the Sir Ignatius Kilaga Stadium. That match is followed by the grand final rematch between Lay City Dwellers and Madang FC. And finally, at the National Sports Institute in Goroka, Wellgris meets hosts Goroka. And that ends Trukai Sports for this evening. We'll be back with all the weather details after the break.
Trukai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. First of all, in the southern region, Port Moresby, possible evening showers. Afternoon showers expected in Kerma, a few showers expected in Daru, cloudy with rain for Alotau, and brief showers in Popondetta. To the Momasa region, brief showers expected in Ley, showers and rain in Wau, mostly fine for Madang and Wewak, and fine weather as well in Vanimo. To the New Guinea Islands region, afternoon showers expected in Lorengau, showers in Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, showers as well in Kimbe, and showers and thunderstorms for Buka. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, fog as well as showers over the next 24 hours. To look at the forecast for small ships for the next 24 hours, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerma to Yule Island, Hood Point to Samurai Island with waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel, Finchafen including Vitia Strait, CSE Islands to Long Island with waters west of Long Island to Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Aitape and Vanimo, as well as the northern PNG Indonesian border, and waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of New Island to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And a look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. In the Coral Sea, seas slight with east to northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea, seas slight with northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas slight with northwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. And the Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with northwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. And before we go, recapping our main headlines again. Kind-hearted couple giving Christmas hope to the homeless, village in Milne Bay surviving on breadfruit while waiting for relief supplies, and the RPNGC launches a book on its colourful history. And that is the news, sports and weather for today, Friday the 18th of December 2015. On behalf of the EMTV News team, have a pleasant weekend. Good night.